All right. I am here to bring you the beginning of lesson 6A. We're going to start with an optional problem. You do not have to watch or take notes on this video, but if you are interested in math and you'd like to understand where the formula for the quadratic formula comes from, then I think you'll find this video interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to derive the quadratic formula by completing the square to solve for x in this equation. To do that, as you learned previously, you want the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So we're going to begin by dividing each term by a. That gives us x squared plus b over a x plus c over a. And we also divide 0 by a, but that leaves us with this equals 0 here. And then to complete the square, we will subtract c over a from both sides to give us x squared plus b over a x equals negative c over a. And we want to complete the square here. So you may remember, to complete the square, we're going to take b over a and divide it by 2. So we now have b over 2a squared. So we're going to add b over 2a because we divide this term by 2 and square it. So we also need to add b over 2a squared to the right-hand side. Next, we will go ahead and factor this perfect square trinomial. That becomes x plus b over 2a squared equals, we have c over a plus, we're going to square b over 2a. So that becomes b squared over 4a squared. Okay, so the right-hand side is looking a little bit messy. In order to add these two terms, we need a common denominator, which means that, let me slide this c over a over a little bit. So that's a negative c over a. I'm going to multiply by the fraction 4a over 4a. Now, if you can see what would happen if I multiply by 4a in the denominator over here, that gives me 4a squared. So then I'll have a common denominator and be able to add the numerators. Some properties or some basic work with fractions. So we have same left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, we have our common denominator of 4a squared. And the numerator is going to be 4ac plus, negative 4ac, because that was a negative c over here, negative 4ac plus b squared. And now we are ready to take the square root of both sides. And so we have x plus b over 2a is equal to positive or negative square root of the right-hand side. Those of you familiar with quadratic formula, the numerator, we usually write b squared first and the minus 4ac second over 4a squared. And next we can go ahead and then subtract b over 2a from both sides, which gives us negative b over 2a plus or minus. The square root here, we can't really take the square root of the numerator because we have a difference of these two terms, b squared minus 4ac. But we can take the square root of the denominator, and the square root of 4a squared is 2a. And then finally, if we go ahead and add across the top, we have the same denominator here, lucky us. So we have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a, which is our famous quadratic formula. And so we can actually see the quadratic formula we can derive from completing the square. So it is from completing the square, a method that we're already familiar with. It's pretty cool. Thanks for watching. If you made it the whole way through, congratulations. And now you get to see my life. Oh, little cat's learning quadratic formula as well. Right, Kat? Yeah. Okay. Bye.